Well, hello, my creepy crafters. Your DM Scotty here for another fun Craftober craft. This one is going to be a whole encounter called Crow Hollow, and it's about this tree, this evil tree that calls in these flocks of giant ravens that bring it victims, and this whole cult surrounding this evil tree. Just really a cool thing. So what I thought I'd do is I'd show you the pictures of the whole encounter all set up, and then we'll go to the table and start working on the tree. This one's going to take several videos to get out. So let's hit the table and we'll start working on the tree, the haunted Gore tree. Crafters, here we go. A toilet paper roll. Some of my favorite crafting material. I'm going to use my white glue and just cover that. And this is just my white glue paper towel TP technique, right? I'll spray some water on there and then pull the top and the bottom off. So just super easy. I'm going to do another one, another piece, kind of strengthen it up. Add some more white glue. Add water, scrunch it up. Now it's really starting to look like bark, right? I'm going to add some 50% water, 50% white glue. That soaks right into it. Give it a lot of strength. Nice. All right, now I'm going to do another piece. The idea is to kind of make the bottom a little fatter than the top, so that's what I'm doing here. And there we go. Same technique. Okay, now here is the finished piece, but I added some TP and kind of roughed it up to get a really rough bark texture. Now I'm going to use these pliers and kind of poke holes in it, because I'm going to put a light in this, right? And I want plenty of places for the light to come through. Okay, so I'm just going to start randomly poking holes in this. And pretty violent. I also picked up this skull for Halloween, and I got it from Walmart, and I used my X-Acto knife to punch out the mouth, nose, and eyes. Now be careful when you do that. You don't want to cut yourself. Be very, very careful with that sharp instrument. And I'm going to put it on the tree like so. So I'm going to kind of figure out where I want to put it, and then cut a hole in with the X-Acto knife. So just punch that out, pull out the excess, and that'll be where the skull is. And so the light will go through the eyes and everything. Very cool. Now I'm going to start kind of punching holes in the trunk itself. Because like I said, I'm going to put a light in this, and I want it to shine through a lot of different places, not just, a little teeny, place. I want a lot of places. So I'm really going to get kind of violent with this and tear different pieces. I'm also kind of ripping pieces and having them hanging down, like almost like hanging flesh, although it's a tree actually. And I'm going to make a spot for the two tree limbs, the giant limbs, and just use the X-Acto to get the started, and then use my needle nose pliers here to kind of rip and tear. Go to town on this thing. And this looks like a crazy mess right now, but buddy, wait till we get this done. This is going to be so cool. All right, now I'm going to glue that skull on there. All right, cover that hole up. Any gaps you can fill in with the glue gun.
And by the way, I'm using my favorite glue gun, my CC Better. You can get this in the affiliated link below the video. And my first limb is just rolled up paper towel soaked in white glue. My second limb, you see they're not even. I thought that'd be fun. Not like the arms of a humanoid or something. Is a tree. Now I'm going to pull some hot glue onto the skull. I thought it'd be a neat kind of detail. So you can see I'm just doing some squiggly pulls on there. I'm going to do around the edges of the rips and tears to reinforce them. And there we go. Nice. Okay, now I'm going to put some like guts on this thing. And I thought it'd be fun to use some thread soaked in white glue. Or I'm sorry, not thread, yarn. This is yarn soaked in white glue. And I'm just kind of, it's going to be like guts hanging down. It's going to be really gross when we paint it. It looks kind of, just looks like rope now, but it's going to look like intestines when we paint it. So very fun. And I'll just glue that to the trunk with my CC Better here. And I love the CC Better because it has that really pointed nozzle. Really great for detail. All right. Got all the guts on there. Nice. Now I'm going to cover those with hot glue, right? It'll give them this kind of organic feel. And you won't see the fibers of the yarn, right? Cool. Finish that up. Now I just got these plants at the dollar store. They're pussy willows, and I'm going to pull the pussy willow parts off. And I like the kind of collard look of these. And just cut those little nubs off that hold the pussy willows on. And I'm going to use these as kind of the creepy hands of this thing. So I'm going to poke a hole in the limb. And then I'll go at the end there. And I'll just hot glue that in. Nice. Really starting to take shape now. Same with the other large limb. Hot glue that in. Nice. Okay, now I'm going to poke some holes in the teeth, or the canines. Actually, take them out with the X-Acto. And I'm going to use some toothpicks as these kind of giant fangs on this thing. So there we go, fun. Yarr. Okay, now I got the base. It's just out of cardboard, but I want to have it open so that the light will fit under the tree, inside the tree. And I have a little trap door, so I'm going to use a toothpick, just slide it through the corrugation, and that'll hold the trap door shut. And then you can just pull the toothpick out if you want to get the light out. So easy. Okay, now I'm going to start covering the top with hot glue because it'll be the base and it'll be the ground. And I'd be careful, you don't want to cover that trap door, right? Because it's a utility, you need it. Now I'm going to go around and cover up the corrugations. Be careful you don't cover the corrugation where you have the toothpick going in. Then I'll just glue the tree to it. Cover up that hole there. Nice. And just fill it in as needed. Pull some hot glue up onto it. Nice bond. Nice strong bond. Got my little trap door. Light fits in there. Good to go. All right. You can see the action here with the toothpick. Slides right in. Closes that door. Simple, simple solution. Yeah, be careful you don't glue that toothpick in there. Okay, now I did these little squiggles, basically toilet paper rolled up with white glue, and let them dry. And I'm just using different various pieces as kind of like gnarly roots. You know, I picture this thing can kind of scuttle a little bit along the ground on these roots, right? So they're kind of like writhing snakes or something. So, yeah. Pretty cool. So just different size roots there. Writhing. All right, now I'm going to cover up those with hot glue. Gives them a lot of strength and texture. So this is looking really cool. Now I'm going to add some white glue to the base. Spread it out a little bit with a toothpick. And I use my construction sand. Nice texture on the base. Now I've got some pencil shavings. Going to soak them in 50% water, 50% white glue. Slushy them up. Mix it all up. Start putting some on the base. This will be like dead vegetation. I picture it's killed all the vegetation around it. It's just kind of this dead vegetation on the ground. Nice. Easy peasy. Okay, now I'm going to spray paint it flat black and call it black bombing here. And what I've done here is I've used burnt umber after I spray painted it flat black. And I'm just giving it the base dark brown here. And you can really see the details, you know, as it's painted here. I'm using another favorite of mine, Mississippi mud. Start dry brushing it. It's just kind of a yuck brown, right? So looking great. Really gnarly. Look how that's coming together. And now I'm going to use a light gray as the last highlight here. Gives us this ancient look. Nice. Now I've got kind of a muddy brown that I'm going to use for the base here. Just do the rest. And then I'm going to do my kind of gore technique. I use a cherry red and a bright red. I'm going to start putting that on. And look at those little details I did on the top of the skull. I think it's really cool, the hot glue gun. You can really see that now. I'm going to do around the kind of holes and the intestines, you know, this kind of cherry red, like kind of wounds in this tree. And looking cool, but look when you start adding the brighter red and mix it in, really gives a nice kind of like gore look. And this is all while it's wet. It really works well while it's wet. And look at that, so nice. Looking so great. Last thing I'm going to do is paint that dead vegetation with a just a tan. And we are ready to go. Nice. I'm going to use a cellophane wrap because I wanted something for the light to reflect off of inside the tree and not just be a hollow tree, right? So let's wad it up, cut a piece, and shove it into the tree. And then what we'll do is we'll put the red light underneath. I'll show you what it looks like. So pull the pin out, and the red light, turn it on, put it underneath. And see how the light reflects up into that cellophane? Really nice. I'm going to hit the light there, give you an idea what it looks like in the dark. Neat. Very cool. I like that effect. I really like that effect. Now I'm going to use this polyacrylic varnish, and I'm going to put it on the gore and guts of the tree. So really give it a nice yuck look, right? And I really want to play up that gore aspect of the tree. Really cool. Love this stuff because it cleans up with water.
Okay, adventurers, you come to a spooky forest. And guess what? You see... Did I get you? I'll see you next time for the next part of this video.